This is funny. I was reading something earlier today, and this author said, Julia Cameron said, you might not write well today, but you can always what? You can always edit a bad page. And so, how many of you right now are writing a book or thinking about writing a book, or you just started maybe to just make just write a few pages at this time? But if you're writing, and you're saying that I just didn't have a good day today, remember what she said. Remember what Julia said, that you may not write well every day, but you can always what? Edit a bad page. I'm Marlene Foster with Empower the Vision, and I want to just welcome you to the Author Challenge. And the Author Challenge has really been impactful. I want everybody to know, for me, as an author. And I'm writing a book right now as I've gotten to know, you know, Jose Pereira. I mean, just he's really been a great inspiration for me. And I do believe that he has for a lot of people who've been following this author challenge. The different posts that I've put out, the writings that he's had, the podcast, I mean, just his speaking engagements, all of it. He's also received awards. He's received a lot of recognition. And I've gotten to know him over the challenge period, I've seen at least 10 different events that he's been a part of. People are reaching out to him. And see, again, it isn't about selling books. As he said, it's your voice. People are looking to hear from you, your voice, your experience, what makes you who you are, and how can they really learn more about you and then learn more about your experiences in your book. So I want to start off with, first of all, what is the author challenge? And the author challenge is a way for authors and readers to have impactful relationships. The impactful relationship that a reader can have is by learning and experiencing and having a deeper understanding of what's being read. And if the author, whoever the author is, and right now we have Jose, then authors are now reading his book, or they're listening to his presentations, they're looking at his podcasts, and they can understand him with much clarity. There's more clarity now because now he's there. He's there for them to see. He's like coming on posts. He's writing on my posts, on his own posts, and people are being able to ask questions and being able to listen. And so he can go much deeper, much deeper. And you can see him be authentic, and you can see the transparency because he is now there for us to relate to. We can relate to him, right? So today, 3 winners will receive a hard copy of his book signed by Jose, and he will have their name in it. So they're going to receive a hard copy, and it will be signed by him. And I'm gonna tell you, he gave me a copy already, and I'll tell you, I read it, and I'm cherishing this because his book really meant a lot for me because I really related with a lot of what happened in the book. I could relate to. Now, the author challenge, as I was saying, it really helps you. So if you're an author and you're looking at, well, Marlene, how can I even reach out? Right now you get what? The book reviews. I'm talking about, let's go deeper than book reviews. Let's go deeper and be able to, again, reach out through podcasts, as Jose has done. Reach out through the different posts that are put out there where people can actually reach out and they can correspond with him. And we did that yesterday with a Q&A. So, and our wheels that were made. Jose is an unbreakable, can you believe this? Unbreakable leadership coach. He sees himself as unbreakable because look at this. How many of us have actually been in captivity. I mean, I'm sure some people listening may have been, but captivity can exist mentally as well. Your mental state of mind can feel as if you're in captivity, because I felt that way. And when I read his book, I was able to relate to what he was saying about. He talked about you yourself making the choice. You make the choice. You decide, because nobody knows what you're thinking except you, right? You make a choice and you decide if you're going to let what's going on outside of you, how it's going to affect internally. And he said that he decided that he would be what? Unbreakable. And that's what he did in captivity, because I think he had said that I think he had been in a coma. I think, if I recall him saying that to me, but he went through a lot of physical torture. It was a lot of physical torture, but he was determined to stay strong. And with his strength, he developed greater faith, his hope, his faith. Can you believe it? When you are facing discomfort, for some reason, the adaptability, the flexibility that you have, and you're deciding not to let the outside impact your mind, you begin to grow. You do. Growth occurs. And he didn't sit back and feel sorry for himself. He knew that he was the one in control. He was in control, even in captivity. In the midst of captivity, think about, here's a man who wrote his book in the midst of captivity. And so when we're looking at and saying that what we can't do, whether it's write a book, whether it's in your business, how well you conduct business, think about Jose. I want you to step into his shoes right now and think about being behind bars, and think about all of what they were doing. And they were trying their best to destroy him, destroy he and his colleagues. That's what they were looking to do. I mean, the outer doing what they did to him, externally, that was to make sure that they could do what? Destroy his mind. But he had control. And that's admirable. So admirable. And when he talks to us about it, so we get a chance to see him discuss and talk about what happened to him, as you will in your own book, and as I'm doing in my book. And I'm seeing that my books are really conversational. And so I'm talking to you and I'm telling you my story, and I'm looking for audiences to be able to say, Marlene, that happened to me. Sometimes what happened to you is something similar that happened to someone else. But Jose, I I ask, what inspired you to write this particular book? What inspired you to write this particular book? And Jose said, my captivity changed everything in the darkness. He said it changed. And in the darkness, he said, in the darkness, I discovered faith and inner resilience. Can you believe that? The darkness that he traveled through, he developed a courageousness. He developed faith in captivity. And I think he was there for 1,775 days. That number just stays on me. 1775. Those were the days he was there. And throughout that time, he and his wife wrote secretly to one another. Can you believe they wrote to one another? And that turned out to be his book. Look at the challenge that he faced. Look at the challenge that you face and think about, there is always a way out of what you're in. There's a way around it. There always is. It is always about how you view it. So if you're viewing something, if something's not happening the way you need for it to happen right now, exhale and stop and think that maybe there's time for you to learn something here. Is this a moment for you to learn from this experience? Just as Jose did. He learned from his experience in captivity. Just as all of us have to learn from our experiences, you learn. I then asked him, what do you hope readers will take away from your book? He said, I hope they walk away knowing that no matter how deep the darkness, light is still possible, that faith matters, and resilience can be what? Rebuilt. Isn't that something? So if you feel lifeless right now, if you feel hopeless, when resilience is rebuilt, what if I were to tell you it could be rebuilt 10 times or 100 times greater than it was before? What if I were to tell you that you can actually rebuild the stamina, the endurance that you once had? You can actually, it can be rebuilt much, much more successful than it was previously. Just as he explains here, and it talks about it in his book, about how, and he talks about it in his podcasts, and also in the different speeches that he gives. He talks about don't give up. That's what Jose is doing. He's not out trying to sell books. Jose is saying, learn how you can empower yourself. Learn how to empower your journey. Learn. And that's so important for us today. You know, that is to stop in our tracks and think about whatever it is, whatever suffering that you see, or you feel if you're sacrificing so that you can make it in your journey. And maybe things are not happening as quickly as you might want them to. Be patient. Because with patience opens doors. Patience will open doors for you, and you'll be able to see more clearly, because there's something you might be overlooking. Maybe there's another direction that you need to take. Redirection can definitely be a blessing to you. So have to stop and think about, maybe it's time for me to stop in my tracks, just as Jose did. Stop in your tracks and just stay calm and just let the days pass. And I said, but Jose, when did you know that the doors were about to open and you were about to be free? He said, Marlene, it came to me. I knew it. I think it was someone there at the prison. He was telling that eventually he was going home to his family, and he knew it was about to happen. You have to have that same type of courageousness. You got to know that resilience, perseverance. Know that you are about to make it, that it's coming, that business is going to grow. And right now, continue to learn what you need to learn about the business. Continue to build it. Continue to create relationships, just as Jose did here. Continue to do that. And I'll also ask him if there's anything that you find particularly challenging about being a writer. And he said, think about when you're writing something, you have to go back in your past and rethink, don't you? You got to think about where you've been, what that pain must have been like. Just think. So Jose had to rethink those agonizing moments, the pain that he felt. That's how he wrote this book. He had to think. He had to go back behind those bars in that cell and think about those moments. And he had to think about it. And that's what he says here, that is, and I have to agree, that's emotional, because even in my own writing, there are different moments in my past that are starting to cross that right in front of my face. And those are things that I try to pack away and forget. And that's what he tried to do as well. But when you wrote this book, it was actually emotional for him to have to go and rethink and think about again, going through what he had gone through for 1,775 days. So when you're writing, don't be so harsh on yourself, because all of those moments that you do spend writing, you're going to again have to face, because pain is what? Is it pain is gain? Pain really truly is. It is gain, because when I look at again what happened with my grandmother and her business, and I even think about in my own business, there are some challenges that hit me. There's some mistakes that I made. There were challenges that really affected my business. And my first business, I had to shut it down. I shut it down and I reopened a new business. So I know what it's like to have to think back and go over that old chapter, those chapters of pain and discouragement. And you're thinking about, you think back at the times when why did I do it this way? Why did that occur? But today, Jose is saying to you, don't just, as authors, you're not out there just to sell books. You want to do what? You want to create relationships with your readers. And that's what we're doing here. We are creating author reader relationships. Again, authors are receiving what feedback and whatever benefits with the expressions that you might want to share with them, not only just in a book review, but if there's a chance that you can reach out and just communicate with them. Communicate with the authors, and authors communicate with your readers. Because it's not just you sitting when you write the book and the book is out there, you've got readers. They're reading your book. Find out, discover, and here in the Author Challenge, that's exactly what we're doing here. Is we're working with you and we're helping you to reach out and deepen the relationship with readers. Now, the three winners here today. Three winners. One is is a reader. Okay, she's not an author. I asked was she ever considering writing a book. She said nope. She said no, she hasn't. But she has traveled a lot. She's lived in Washington D.C. and today she's actually a customer service specialist. So that's what her profession is. She's a customer service professional, and she loves reading. And when she again heard about Jose, and she said, Marlene, I knew about him. I knew about him because when he was all over the news, and he still is on different programs and everything, she said, I knew about him. She said, I've got to get his book. And so she said, and I really want to be a part of the challenge. So she won. She was the first winner, the very first winner of the 10-day challenge. So she'll be receiving what? A signed copy of his book. If she wants to, she can be on his podcast. And also she'll be also a part of what? His newsletter. He's going to talk about her in his newsletter. The second winner is Heather McWilliam. Heather with Brave Inspires Brave. Heather is an author. And maybe in 2026, we can get her to join us on the Author Challenge and get her to actually talk about more. I've interviewed her at least maybe 2 or 3 times, and she's actually interviewed me, and we'll be talking about what she faced in the trials that she faced again, which was a lot because she dealt with it was a sexual harassment, and there was a lot that went on, and she was a police officer. So it was really, you've got to read her book. Read her book. And again, she's one of the winners. And so you will hear more about her journey as she is when she's on the podcast with Jose. And she'll also be in his newsletter. And she'll receive a free copy of his book also, a signed copy. And the last person, the winner, I'm sorry, I don't have her last name here, but Preeti is an author and speaker and consultant. Okay, and she is definitely, see, when you look at authors though, we are readers, aren't we? Because as the times I've spoken with her, she's talked about the books that she's reading. I think she's in a book club. And so she is definitely someone, some very passionate individual that maybe one day next year she'd like to join, actually come and join us and talk about. I think she talked about the children's books. I don't know if she writes the children's books or if her son is actually a part of it as well. I think he is. Her son is a part of it. Of he's a writer as well. So I want to just say that I'm happy for the three winners here. And actually, I want to say to you that everyone who is involved in the author challenge is a winner because you win this way. Anyone who reads Jose's book, From Hero to Villain, you read the book, write a book review, and place it on Amazon and send a copy to me. And you will be actually, I will introduce you in my newsletter. You will be introduced there. And there'll be maybe another article that I'm writing. So there'll be at least two different forms of visibility. Those of you who are not, again, who were not in the child, who wasn't there to have your name drawn, if you haven't read the book yet, read it. Read the book. And those of you who've like I said, read the book and have you forgotten to send me the registration, send it, because I'm looking to let the world know just how important, again, readership is for you. How important, and I want to tell you this as well. In the challenge in 2026, those of you who refer authors, and if the author decides to take part in the challenge, there'll be a special winner circle for those individuals who refer authors. I'm looking for authors for 2026. If you know of anyone, if you yourself are an author, if you know someone who's an aspiring author, who's getting started, refer them. And if they decide that they want to join me on the author challenge, there'll be a winner circle for those who refer authors. Okay. So in 2026, this challenge will grow even more. There'll be more ways for there to be more winners. So I'm looking forward to that. So next year, come join us. Come join me. And I want to say that the celebration is for all of you who know about Jose Pereira and know about his journey. Celebrate yourselves because you've learned something so dynamic. His book is one of a kind. I mean, his journey really is. Celebrate and go back. I've read his book twice. That's just how impactful it's been for me as a business owner and even in my personal life. He's taught me that transformation, guys, change is a good thing, but you need to do what? Keep moving with consistency and wait. Don't be eager to try to change things sometimes on your own, but just keep moving ahead, and you will eventually get to the point where you need to be. The purpose in your life, you will get there. So I want to just thank all of you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me in the Author Challenge. And Jose is very happy that you were there also joining us. He has been so excited to get to know a lot of you. It's been exciting for him to read the posts and to read what you've been saying, about him. He wants to thank you, and I thank you. And again, when we have to continue to do what? Empower one another. And again, because in my business, I help businesses to do what? Empower themselves, to protect against the unexpected. And think about it. As an author, during the pandemic, there are a lot of people, I'm seeing this when you look at Amazon and the people that I've actually interviewed, they wrote their books in 2020. I'm saying to you that books, authoring can be empowering, can definitely protect your business. because it talks about what? Your expertise. Your book is an extension of you. And as Jose said, it's your voice. It's your voice. Whereas everyone else may be reaching out and trying to say to you what it is they want to offer or what they have or what they can give to you. The book itself, just like his book here, his book lets you know exactly. And think about in your life and in your, just like myself, and I think about at one point, I thought I started off as a hero. There have been times when we all start off as heroes, right? And a hero might be that you're what? Successful. You see the success that's in front of you. Success. And eventually, I don't know if it takes a few months or if it takes years, but I have myself have gone from hero to villain. I have, and it's because when things don't go sometimes the way you may not want them to go, you almost feel like a villain because you feel, what did I do wrong? You start questioning yourself. What is it that I've done that actually turned my business around or turned my relationship around? So we all can relate to him here. We can relate to Jose. Starting off sometime again, with victory, and end up maybe something that if a setback occurs, a problem, comes your way, and you say, what is it that I could have done differently? What did I do? What did I do wrong? And Jose did nothing wrong. He went to Venezuela and was captured. And there are times in life, again, when you are going to make mistakes, like I have in business. And it's not saying you did something wrong, but there are times when we may have taken a step and it just wasn't a good step that was taken. Maybe you should have gone another direction, but that particular time, now you're doing what? You're learning better. You're learning, you're being redirected, just as Jose was. And he mentions about redirection. Redirection. Think about it, guys. When you are attempting to get something off, going, just like Eleanor Roosevelt said, she said, every day, do something that scares you. And the only thing she's saying is step out of the comfort zone. Do something that scares you every day, each and every day. And when you do, you learn so much more about yourself. You learn more about your strengths and your weaknesses. And that's how you can become more self-aware and you become more diligent. And now you know what it takes to do what? To empower your journey. So I just want to say to you today, have a powerful journey. And I want you to come and join me next year in 2026, because I'll also have the 500 moments of discomfort. That is a challenge that I started during the leap year. It's a leap year challenge. Yes, I love challenges. Challenges push me. Challenges push a lot of us to move forward. That's why I love challenges. So let's move forward. And if you feel that you would like to even include a story in the 500 moments of discomfort, let me know about that, because I will be talking about that in 2026, because the book is actually going to be published. I'm actually working with someone now, and we're going to get the book published, and I can't wait for you to hear the great stories there. And Jose will be one of the authors. So look forward to seeing you. If not this year, then in 2026. And listen, have a wonderful Christmas holiday and a happy new year.